Hey. I'm not even sure if this is going to work today. So, sitting in the car. And I like to share my moments when I have some moments. Although it is very early in the morning. And I just had a moment. So this is quite literally only going to take, this is only going to be 5 minutes because I got to get to the plantation, and you know, that's just, you got to do your thing. So I joined a club this morning. You know, we have these little things called kids, and by the way, I'm not driving. I pulled over. I'm sitting here at the shopping center on my way to the plantation. I pulled the horse over and stowed the bags, but just put my son on the bus this morning. This is my youngest one, and if he ain't, and so I pulled in the car. Damn morning. Good morning, Brother Shane. Good morning, Buddha. A little misty-eyed this morning, y'all. I pulled down to the driveway, to the bottom of the driveway, and he gave me that look. I know the look. I've seen it twice before. He gave me that look where he just like, Dad, I'm too old for you to be at the driveway. It's a look in his eye, and you can see, because I saw it in the two older boys when they got to that point, like, you're embarrassing me. And it hurt. It hurt. You know, it hurts when you get that look where you know. I walk every year, every first time they get on the bus. I've been there. Those are my dogs, man. Those are my boys. And I put them on the bus. And so finally, my little guy, he looked at me like, you gonna have to go, Pop. You live in a, sometimes y'all think I live in a fantasy world. Sometimes my kids will look at me like, yeah, you live in a fantasy world, brother. You're not gonna put me on the bus. So I got my little sniffle and, you know, wiped my eye a little bit. Okay, and I put the car in reverse and I backed up the driveway and back up to the top of the driveway. He wanted me all the way at the top of the driveway. I couldn't be anywhere near the bottom of the driveway. So I sat in the car and I didn't cry. I was a little misty-eyed. You know, I changed that little nasty boy. I done changed every one of his diapers. I changed every nasty, ooh. And he had to have the soy infant milk, right? Like, he couldn't have the good stuff. Well, he couldn't have the regular stuff. He had to have the stuff, and that stuff, ooh, man, changed all his diapers. He gonna make me sit at the top of the driveway. So anyway, I was a little annoyed with that, but that's, you know, that's he's growing up. He's growing up. And so, but the reason I posted this is, where he gets on the bus at the bottom of our driveway, it's a busy road. It's a rather busy road. And, having dealt with, you know, people not stopping. By the way, if you're in America, we have these laws where if you see a big yellow thing that has a big red stop sign on the side of it, well, first of all, if the big yellow thing has flashing yellows, it means you're supposed to slow down because the bus is probably about to start. Yeah, the yellow thing is a bus. And if it has a big red thing that swings out in your face, like right in front of your car, it's a stop sign. It means you're supposed to stop because kids live here and they're getting on the bus, the big yellow thing. And not everybody on this street does that because people like to drive fast here. So a few years back, we had to complain and get the police to sit out there. So today, as I wipe some tears out my eyes, because my youngest, I wiped my tears out my eyes, which drives me crazy because my father, he used to pull up to school. Listen, when I was in middle school, my father used to wear polyester suits. He was a satellite engineer, but for some reason he wanted to be a mechanic and work on motorcycles, and he had all this crazy stuff. But he had dirty polyester work suits, and he would come pick me up from school on a motorcycle or a dirty old van in an old raggedy polyester, and the dude working on satellites. But he did it because I think he did it because he knew that I embarrassed. He was embarrassing me. But that's anyway. So my son was in it. That's a whole nother story. So, but anyway, so we had trouble in front of the bus stop, and I look across the street, and I see that Ford Edge. I see the police. See, this is why I say, and I didn't have this. This is why I say I support my police. Why? I live in a small town, and there's some good boys. There's some good boys and some good girls on the force, and I support my police because I know my police. I talk to them. So of course, my son got on the bus, and I had to go by and speak to him. But you know, I just gave him my appreciation. I just told him, hey, I appreciate you being here. You know, people are slowing down when you sit here, and it's crazy times. And he knew exactly where I was coming from. He knew exactly what I was saying. You know, it's crazy times, and all of this nonsense and hatred for the police. You know, they're bad ones, but they're mostly good ones. And so I just stopped and gave my appreciation. So I have to get to the plantation, but I wanted to drop that off to you. You know, when someone does something good for you, always say thank you. Always show your appreciation. You have no idea what goes through, you know, public servants' minds. You have no idea how just a kind word can kind of change things. But he sat there to make sure cars slowed down and nobody had to call him. He said, yeah, we've had problems down here, sir, and I wanted to sit here and just make sure that, you know, the kids got on the bus safely. I appreciated that. Touched my heart. Two tears in my eyes. One, because my son, he, you know, you know, nothing to it, Dad all by himself in the world. It's tough out here, y'all. It's tough. And two, the officer showed up and made sure that he got on the bus safe without anybody having to call him. And so show your appreciation. Please keep in mind, the vast majority of police are good guys and gals. They just want to serve the public. And if the public continually comes on them, that didn't sound right. Oh my Lord, where did that come from? It's early, I'm drinking coffee. Just pretend I didn't say that. If the public continues to come down on them without looking at their own accountability for who they vote for and who's actually writing the laws and who's causing a lot of the chaos in our society, then we don't get anywhere. So that's why I support my police, because I know my police. Now, if I come visit you, I don't know your police. Do you talk to your police? Do you have like friendships with them? Do you thank them? Like, I don't feel safe at your house, but where I live and where my cotton field is, I talk to them and they all know me, or most of them know me. So I think when you speak to people and they get to know you, they're more likely to treat you in ways, obviously, that you would prefer. So, and this message isn't for everybody, because some of y'all are just angry. And to be honest with you, some of you have some real good reasons to be. However, those of y'all who are calm, who understand most police, are there to help, who aren't interested in the rebel rousing from the hatred for the police, and they're not interested in the rebel rousing from Washington and building out the police state. They just want to serve the public. You got to praise those guys. You got to cherish those guys, and you got to lift those guys up. So I'm going to get back to the plantation here. I got a little ways to go driving through y'all's police departments, and I just appreciate it if y'all would start talking to your police so I can feel safe on my commute to my plantation. Y'all have a good day.